everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jordan and I'm so happy to have you. Today I wanted to sit down and film another Q&A for you guys. You guys seem to really enjoy these videos and I feel like it's the easiest way to share information about what's going on the ship, what's going on in my life, and it's also a good way for you to get to know me better. So yeah, I had you guys send in questions on my Instagram story as usual. So if you're not following me on my Instagram, I will have it linked down below. It's just at JBAUTH. That is where I do a lot of my polls for YouTube videos and things like that. But you guys came in clutch. I got so many questions and as usual, I'm gonna try and get through every single question, but no promises. If you were wondering why I look so done up and my hair is all put in a bun, it's because we have a show today, so I just got ready for our shows later. And yeah, I'm a professional figure skater if you're new here and I did not mention that. But anyways, we have a lot to get through, so without further ado, let's jump into the first question. What do we want to start with? First question. Do you have plans on a third contract with a different cruise line? I do have my third contract lined up, actually. I am not going to jump into details quite yet about that, but I do have my third contract already, and I will still be working for Royal Caribbean. What would you recommend at Azumi? So, if you don't know what Azumi is, it's my absolute favorite specialty restaurant on board. It is a sushi and hibachi restaurant. I believe they have locations on land as well, but I've only ever seen it on the ship. My two favorite rolls to order are the spicy crispy shrimp roll and the champagne lobster roll. That is what I get every single time. I also highly recommend the firecracker shrimp roll for an appetizer, as well as the vegetable fried rice. It is to die for, and the mochi, of course, is a great dessert. So you can't go wrong with anything on the menu, but those are my favorites. Do you have to wear a name tag / be in uniform anytime you are in any guest areas? I do have to be in uniform and I do have to wear my name tag, so anywhere from morning until 6 p.m. I can be in my blues, which is what I'm wearing right now. So it's basically just a t-shirt and navy pants. I have Lulu pants that I wear with my shirt, and then I also have to wear my name tag on top, but after 6 p.m. I have to be in smart casual. What is one thing you can't live without on the ship? Probably music. I would say, actually, I'm gonna say my hard drive, because my hard drive has my life on it. I have so many movies and TV shows, and all my YouTube videos are saved on my hard drive, so that is probably the thing I can't live without most, because we don't have like unlimited streaming Wi-Fi and things like that, so I can't just access Netflix or YouTube, so I just plug in my hard drive and watch shows from there. Do you get to interact with performers outside of skating on the ship? Absolutely. So on this class of ship that I'm on right now, there's only a production cast and an ice cast. On my previous ship, on the Allure, there was also an aqua cast, and we definitely have plenty of time to interact and hang out with other cast members. We also actually dress and spotlight for the production shows, so I am backstage with the dancers and singers, hooking them, zipping them, getting them through all their quick changes and things like that. Do you get discount for family and friends to cruise with Royal? I got a few of these questions, and yes, I do get a discounted price for my family and friends also. So after 6 months of working with the company, you get, I believe, 25% discount for friends and family, which is a really nice incentive for my family to visit. How long were you in dry dock? So our dry dock was scheduled to be only 2 weeks long, but we did actually extend for almost an extra week. So in total we were in dry dock for 3 weeks, and then we did the crossing to and from France, and that was about a week and a half there, a week and a half back. Did you get to get off the ship with your parents and hang out in guest areas with them? Yes, actually, I was lucky enough to get off with them in Cozumel. I did work as a crew observer for one of the ShoreX tours, so my parents bought the excursion and I was able to go with them. That was really the only way I could enjoy them, and I was able to go in guest areas with them the entire time they were here. What is the policy when you have family visit on board? Is there more freedom to do guest activities? I actually had to get a form filled out and signed by the hotel director, the cruise director, and the staff captain, and that gave me access to basically anything that a guest has access to. I am allowed in guest areas as a entertainer, but there are certain things that I'm not allowed to do or places I'm not allowed to go. But since I had guests visiting and I got this paper signed, I was able to go anywhere with my parents as well as visit them in their stateroom, which is usually a no-no. Are all of the ice shows the same on all ships? So that is something that's really exciting about working on a cruise ship, is every single show is different. So the show I'm doing right now, which is Cool Art Hot Ice, is only on adventure. On my previous ship I did Ice Games, which was like a Monopoly themed ice show, and so on and so forth. So every single ship has a different ice show with a different theme, different costumes, different music, like everything is new. Are you guys technically all principals? ... No ensemble only roles. Yes, we are all considered principal skaters on the cruise ship because there is only 10 in the cast. So there are 3 single girls, 3 single men, and 2 pairs teams, and we all have our own solos, so we are principal skaters. Now the question that everybody has been asking, you've all been waiting for it. I have gotten so many DMs about my boyfriend. Like, where does he work? Where is he from? The whole shebang. So, my boyfriend, he works in shops. He did sign off about a month and a half ago. Something like that. I don't know, time. I have no sense of time on the ship. But he did sign off, and we are planning to be on our next contract together. He's from Russia. And actually, we were on my previous ship together. We were both on Allure together. So I've known him for like 2 years now, maybe 3 years. Something like that. What is the youngest you can work on a cruise ship? The youngest you can work on a cruise ship or apply, you can be 18 is when you can start working. What is the thing you miss most about everyday life on land? That's a tough one. Really miss driving. I love driving, just putting on the music and driving around. That is something I really enjoy, so I probably just miss that. But I also miss just boring everyday life things, like going to the store, going through the drive-thru. Yeah, just a lot of really boring, mundane, normal things about life I miss. But again, I think if we were able to get off in our home port and go and do whatever and come back, I would not feel this way. And I also miss sitting on a couch. Like, I miss my living room. What about toilet paper, towels, bed sheets? So we do actually have linen on board. So there is linen for the crew and also for the guests, of course. We have to collect our own, so I will just go down there and pick up toilet paper, new sheets, and everything else I need. Cleaning supplies as well are there. And then I also bring down my dirty linen. Just drop it off and they take care of it. Are you allowed shore leave yet? As of today, which is November 21st, 2021, we are not allowed shore leave still. It has been about 7 months since I signed on. We are able now to do crew tours. Other ships have been doing crew tours for months. We, for some reason, have not. But we did just have our first crew tour to Stingray Beach in Cozumel yesterday, which was so much fun. But as far as like free-for-all shore leave, just getting off the ship and going wherever we want, we don't have access to that yet. Is your room below the waterline? No, it is not, but it's very close. Very, very close. Like right below our room is where the water line is. What's your favorite part of being on a ship? I don't know, I think it's just the atmosphere I really enjoy. I love that your coworkers and your friends on board become family very, very fast. Like, you make friends for a lifetime. I still talk to Morris every single day. If you've been around since my contract on Allure, Morris was my absolute best friend on that ship and one of my best friends in life. So I'm very grateful that ships give me this opportunity, and yeah, I I just enjoy the atmosphere. What is one thing you wish the ship had or you had access to while you're on board? Easy. Starbucks. That's it. Starbucks. Is being fluent in a foreign language a qualification to get a job on a cruise ship? So if you do work on a cruise ship, you have to speak English. You have to be fluent in English, but it is also beneficial if you speak a second language as well. How is the crew bar? So the crew bar atmosphere, this contract is very different than pre-COVID times because of social distancing and just, you know, it's just a different vibe, but it's still a lot of fun. Pre-COVID times, it was amazing. Drink prices are very affordable. Like, I think it's $2.50 for a glass of wine and $3 for a mixed drink, which is spectacular. We love that. We love being cost friendly. It's a really fun time. They have music, like they have speakers, and that's usually where people go to hang out after work hours. Is it hard being away from family and pets? It is definitely hard to be away from my family and Coco, of course, but you also get used to it. So I have gotten used to not being home for very long periods of time. I miss Coco so much, and of course I miss my parents, but they did just visit me. So yeah, it's hard, but thank God for the internet. I can call my parents, I can call my friends whenever I want. Is your body getting unhealthy because of the water in the shower or because of the food? So I've had some skin issues this contract, actually. I'm not gonna lie, not gonna sugarcoat it. I had a breakout on my chin from the water on the ship. I thought they were like tiny little pimples, but then I did some research and found out that it was rosacea. And I also had a really bad rash on the back of my leg for months, and I could not figure out what it was. I think it's from the water, and luckily I had some ointment that I can put on it and was able to get it all sorted out, but it was a quite bad rash. And then as far as the food, I at the beginning struggled a little bit with my eating patterns because it was just an adjustment of what I was eating before I came on board. But now I'm in a pretty good groove of what I'm eating, and I'm able to keep up with my health. What exactly do you do during Firewatch shift? Firewatch was only happening for me during dry dock, and basically all I did was I had like a squirt bottle of water, so if there was any sparks or fire, I just, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just stay, make sure everything's okay, and contain the fire or the sparks if it does arise. Hey Jordan, do you get any say in what ship location in the world when you apply? My situation is very different from any other position on board because I actually apply and are hired through a separate company. It's called Willie B Tech Productions, and they're in charge of the skating on board. For us, we can request a certain ship if we want a specific track or solo in an ice show, but usually we have to audition with a video, send it to our boss, and that's kind of the process for us. But again, I don't know for everyone else, I'm sorry. Were your parents allowed in your cabin? I was allowed to go in their cabin because I got that paper that had all the signatures on it that gave me the approval to do so, but guests are never, in no circumstances, allowed in crew areas, so I was not able to show them my cabin. How long do you plan on continuing this line of work? I think I probably want to do professional shows until I'm like 29 or 30. I don't want to put a specific age or end date on my career. I just kind of want to go with the flow and see where life takes me. Who knows where I'll end up, but as of right now, I want to do probably 5 to 6 more years of ice shows. Would you ever want to join a different company? Yeah, I love working on the cruise ship, and I love performing on the cruise ship. It's an amazing lifestyle, and I definitely want to continue with this. But I would also be really interested in trying other experiences as well. I would love to do a land tour, like to kind of see the difference of living on board versus touring to a different city every week. I think that would be a really beneficial experience for me and just something new. I gotta say yes to life, you know me. So whatever opportunities arise, I might of course, consider, but I do love working on the ship, so I will continue working on the ships and maybe try something else as well. Would you recommend someone starting off their first contract during COVID times? I would always recommend people to join ships because I absolutely love working on ships and I truly believe it's the best job in the world. However, I don't know if starting right now as a new hire would be the best for everyone. I think it takes a certain kind of person to handle the challenges that are thrown our way right now, because ship life is very different right now than it was before COVID. You know, it's a big adjustment as it is without COVID even being in the picture, so then that's just adding a lot more stress and definitely not the same exact experience as you would have if you waited a little bit longer. But I still recommend anyone to try out ship life, whether it's now or a year from now or 2 years from now. I really enjoy it, and yeah. Who do you think cruise ships are suited to in terms of crew? What type of person? Ideally, to work on ships, I think you need to be outgoing because you are constantly speaking with different people, whether it's crew members or guests. You also have to be flexible because this is a different environment than normal life and things are constantly changing. Like at a moment's notice, things are changing, so you have to be flexible and easy to adapt to change, and friendly, because nobody likes a mean person. You have to be friendly, and everyone that works on board is so friendly. Would you ever want to do the around the world cruise with Royal Caribbean? Absolutely. The second I saw that post, I was like, sign me up. Unfortunately, the Serenade of the Seas, which is the ship that's doing the world cruise, they don't have Studio B, so there's no ice skating. But I mean, I would love to be like a brand ambassador on board, just vlogging the experience. That would be incredible. How was the vaccination process? So I actually got my booster shot about a week ago, and luckily I had no side effects. I was really worried because the first time I got the vaccine, I thought I was dying. I had every single symptom possible. They were able to get us vaccinated right in the port, so we would just get off the ship with our vaccine cards and our passports, and Walgreens was actually the company that provided the vaccines, so it was very smooth. We just got off the port, we were in the terminal actually, we signed in and we got our vaccine. Then we waited 15 minutes and we were back on board. So it was a very smooth process and yeah, very easy. What would be your number one tip / advice for someone on their first contract? Let's think practical. I would say pack less. Less is more. I way overpacked on my first contract, which was fine. I made it work, but the closet space and the storage is a lot smaller than you think. Even if you think you're prepared, it is so much smaller. So less is more. You can always order stuff, buy stuff, have stuff shipped to you. Less is more. Is there any way to know if you get seasick on a cruise ship before you go on? I don't think so. I think you just have to come on board and find out. But the good thing is we do have seasick pills on board, so if you do get seasick, we can provide those. But honestly, you really don't feel the rock all too much when you're on the ship unless it's a really rough day at sea. The ship is so large that you hardly feel anything. What happens with things like haircuts? Can beauty treatments be done on board? And someone also asked about like spa treatments. So we do have a full spa on board, so you can get your nails done, you can get wax, you can get haircuts, blowouts, highlights, like you can get all type of beauty treatments done on board. And as crew members, we can also use the spa, so we have to pay the full price, but we do get to use our crew discount, which is 20%. Contracts. How does the timing work for someone being told when their next one starts / ship? For us, we are able to speak directly to our boss, so we kind of have one-on-one conversation about how long of a break we want, or how short of a break we want, if we want to go to a specific ship, things like that. So for us as ice skaters, it's pretty easy. For other departments, I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to give wrong information, but I do believe you get your LOE for your next contract before you even sign off of your current contract. or you also could get it like right when you come home. But from what I've been told by other friends in different positions, they usually get their LOE before they sign off their contract and they know where they're headed to next. Can you stay there for free? Yes, that is one of the biggest perks about working on the cruise ship. Your room and board is free. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for your room. You don't have to pay for linen, for towels, nothing. Like, the only thing you have to pay for is drinks, snacks if you buy them, like in Slop Chest, or if you go out to eat at a specialty restaurant, you have to pay for that as well. But as far as your living arrangement, it's all included. If 2 cast or crew members are married, what is their cabin like? So if you are a married couple, you are able to register on board. So basically you get your own cabin together. There's no bunk beds like my living arrangement. It's just one big bed. I believe it's a double-size bed. So the room is still pretty much the same size as the one I'm in, but the only difference is the bed is just one larger bed than 2 twin-size bunk beds. What tights do you wear in the shows? So I have fishnets that I wear in the shows, and they are the Mondor brand. I have to cut out like the bottom foot part, and then I sew in hooks to hook around my skates. What foods do you miss most eating? Does ship food get boring? To be completely transparent, ship food does get a little repetitive for me, and I just miss like really fresh, right off of the pan cooked meals. Like, home cooked meals is what I miss the most. I would say that I miss peanut butter, but now I have heaps of it thanks to you guys. You've brought so much peanut butter for me, so I am set, so thank you. And the other thing that I miss, the other food that I miss for sure is avocados. There were a few rare instances where there were avocados in the mess, but it's not a frequent thing, and I usually eat those every day at home. COVID question, was the vaccine required for all employees or just recommended? So, if you are working on board, at least for Royal, I'm not sure about other cruise lines, but for Royal Caribbean, if you are an employee on board, you must be vaccinated, and it has to be a vaccine that was approved by the FDA because we are running under the CDC. And do you like working on old ships or new ships? I've only done 2 so far. This is Adventure, and before was Allure, and Allure is a lot younger. They are different class ships, so that's also another question in itself. But I think I prefer newer ships, I believe, just because everything is renovated. Adventure is a little bit outdated as far as like aesthetics. You can tell that it is a little bit of an older ship, but it's still really nice. I actually prefer the dining room on Adventure over the dining room on Allure. I think it's so beautiful here. But it's hard to say like if I prefer one over the other. Do you ever get claustrophobic being in such a small cabin? Actually, I don't. I think I don't, only because Luba and I keep it really clean and organized, so there's not things everywhere. It's always pretty tidy. So that's why I don't feel claustrophobic. I think if there was a lot of stuff all over the place and it was messy, I would definitely feel more claustrophobic, but we keep it quite tidy and everything is like in its place. How do you receive packages on board? So I actually mentioned this in my previous Q&A, but I just want to share again in case you missed that. We have an address we can send packages to in Weston, Florida. They send that to the ship, and also now we have a second location we can ship packages to that's literally right in the port of Galveston. We pick up our packages there, and we have to pay per package that we send there, so it's like a few bucks a package. It's not too bad. And yes, we have both of those options, but the first option is free and the second you have to pay per package. What happens with new staff joining the ship at the moment with COVID? Is it different to prior? So yes, it is different right now, because before you would just sign on and you would move in and start training or working immediately. Right now, with the new protocols, you have to sign on and do an onboard quarantine. So when I signed on Adventure back in April, I did 2 weeks of quarantine because we were a return to service, but now new sign-ons only have to quarantine for 7 days. Are there any new crew on board right now? Actually, yes, we had a ton of new sign-ons within the last 2 weeks, so it's definitely a lot of new crew joining us. What is one thing you would change if you could while on board? Right now, for my situation, if there was something I could change, I wish we had free shore leave. That is the biggest thing right now for me. Obviously that is out of our control at the moment, so we just have to make do. But yeah, if I could change one thing right now, it would be that. And for my last question, what is one port you haven't been to that you want to go to? I would love to go to Aruba. I heard it's beautiful. Or Barbados. Those are probably two in the Caribbean that I really want to visit. But anything in the world, like anywhere in Europe, there's many places. And I'm going to be skating for many more years, so sooner or later I will be visiting there. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I went through so many questions and I'm sorry I did not get to every single one. But thank you so much for all of you who have sent in a question and participated in my Q&A. I hope this gave you more insight on my life on board at the moment and that you found it useful if you are considering joining a ship. If you have any questions I didn't get to that you're really dying to know, please comment them below and I will answer ASAP. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I love you all to the moon and back. I hope you have a wonderful day whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.